Good morning, welcome to Cater-Kwik Demo Kitchen. My name is Chris Noble. You might have seen me before in the last Robot-Coupe stream. Part of the sales team at Cater-Kwik. Today we're going with Jamie Clews and we're looking at texture modification of food in the social care sector, and Robot-Coupe are going to discuss their Die With Dignity campaign, why it's so important today. And Jamie's going to run through a couple of machines, a couple of products with us, show us why they're important, what they can do and how they can really benefit the care homes in the UK. So what are we looking at first, Jamie?
Perfect. So yeah, as you touched on the Die With Dignity campaign, so roughly about 8 years ago we launched the Die With Dignity campaign to try and get those people that are on a texture modified diet to have the same dignity, if you like, as everyone else who's eating in the care home. And what we originally found, myself included, when I was freelancing, what used to happen is I'd get a whole meal, put it into a jug blender, blend the whole thing, roast dinner, whichever. And
serve it in a bowl.
And serve it in a bowl.
Yeah, horrible.
So off the back of that, we all eat with our eyes. And one of the biggest problems is if you blend it all up into one big bowl, it doesn't look nice.
No,
you're not going to eat much. So the statistics state that basically about 53–54% of those people that are on a texture modified diet are actually starving to death because they weren't getting enough nutrients or enough food into their diet. So using the Blixers, what we can do is basically present that meal to look as similar to a normal meal as possible. Okay, so just to give everyone an idea, if people want to try this at home, to understand what is dysphasia and how it actually feels and what it's like.
Oh.
If I give you that cup of water there.
Right, here we go.
So if you take a swig of the water.
Right, okay.
And try and swallow it with your mouth open. Live on camera.
Oh.
Yeah?
You can't, that's not
exactly.
Nice.
And
it's hard.
This is basically the issue. So what dysphagia means is there's a muscle in the back of your throat, and you've got two holes.
Yeah.
One to your lungs and one to your stomach. So the one going, you know, when you eat or you drink something and it goes down the wrong hole and you cough it back up. If you've got dysphagia, the issue comes where you can't do that.
You can't cough it back up.
Yeah, or that muscle's not working properly. So if the food's not to the correct texture, it ends up going into your lungs, which can cause choking hazards or lots of different issues. So what you need to do with texture modified food for dysphagia is basically put that food at that particular texture.
Ah, right, okay.
Which is discussed within the care homes and with the hospitals by the speech and language therapists. So they'll come in and go, right, you should be at this texture or that texture. Now, if you want to try a cracker.
Oh, okay.
So it's a dry, boring, plain cracker.
I'm looking forward to this. This is Cater-Kwik breakfast. So just go for it.
Yep. Now what you find when you chew, when you eat something, you're doing that so you can get it to the correct texture to go down your throat.
This is going to take a while, I can already tell.
Yeah, there's some more water there if you need it. Also, what you'll find is you get little bits caught in your teeth and you knock them out with your tongue and use your tongue. Again, if you've got dysphagia, you may not be able to do that properly. So again, that shows what it feels like and gives you an understanding of what you're actually doing in your mouth to get it to the correct texture. So, what we're going to do today, I'm basically going to make a couple of very simple dishes just to give you an idea of what's possible and how you can do it and how you can present it. So we're going to do spaghetti on toast, although you could quite easily do this with beans on toast. You could do cheese on toast, or you could do cheese scones, or pretty much anything similar. So, to the Blitzer. So what makes the Blitzer different to any other machine that we have? First is the tube on the inside. You'll notice that compared to a bowl cutter, it's twice the height. So we can actually get twice as much liquid in there compared to a normal bowl cutter. Then we've got the blade. I don't know if you see it there on the camera. It's a fine serrated blade, so that will take it down a lot finer. You'll also notice this one's facing upwards, that one's facing downwards. So that forces the food down, that forces the food up. So that way we can get it down a lot finer. So
it creates like a vortex almost.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Forcing it into each other and forcing it into the blades.
Yeah. Then we've also got the internal paddle. Okay. Now this so you haven't got to keep taking the lid off and scraping the sides down and bringing it down. Also keeps the lid nice and clean, so you can see what's going on through the top while the machine's running. Just to give you an idea, if you put nuts into a bowl cutter or food processor, you'll get nib nuts or powder.
Yeah.
If you put nuts into a Blixer, you get peanut butter.
Because it breaks it all the way down.
So it's designed to basically annihilate anything that goes in there, which is what you want when it comes to texture modified food. So I've got some cheese rolls here, but you could quite easily use, you could toast some bread. So you want the puree to taste like toast.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating.
So you have that sort of flavour. I've used cheese ones in here, just so we're getting those extra calories into the puree. Because one of the other big problems with texture modified food is trying to get the calories into their diet. So, put the lid on top there. We'll just go run that, turn that into a breadcrumb. If I just show you, if the camera has a look in there, you'll see how quickly that's already broken.
It's seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's literally seconds.
So straight away we've got quick, easy breadcrumb.
And it's not all caked along the side because it's been pulled off with a paddle.
So the paddle's fantastic, makes life so much easier. Now you've got a hole in the top. So what I'm going to do is add some full fat milk into this. Stay away from any cream that's going to whip up. Because obviously that's
it'll
going to
aerate.
foam up and aerate, and it's going to change the texture again. So full fat milk.
You can see it pulling it into the blades.
It's a scraper bringing it down from the side. If you want to add any more liquid, you can just pour that in. But you can also see what's going on inside the machine. Just switch that off there. So,
Wow.
there we've got it. That needs a little bit longer, but just to give you an idea. So there we've got a nice pureed cheese.
And there's not a lot of liquid in there, so you're not really diluting the flavour much at all. You're keeping the flavour. That's the point, isn't it? If you were to do that in a blender or something and it all goes into one bowl, it's like watered down, no flavour left, and it's just, it's neutral, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if you use a bowl cutter for this, you'd need to, like you said, add so much more liquid and then thicken it back up. Or if you use like a jug blender or something like that, again, you'd have to add so much more liquid, so you're losing the flavour. So this is the only way you can do it to get as much flavour in there as possible. But like I said, you could do this with cheese scones, normal scones. I'd probably stay away from fruit scones, just because of the currents.
The
Tend
fibres
to not come
and
down
stuff.
as well. But everything else you can do quite easily. And this is where, if you're on a texture modified diet, and I said to you, right, you're having yogurt for the rest of your life, to have toast and jam.
If you said you're having
It's
yogurt for a
fantastic.
week, I'd be upset, I think. No, I think it's really important because I'm really passionate about food, and I truly believe that everyone should have the right to an appetising meal.
Totally.
Because visually, it changes your whole appetite. You can't enjoy something that doesn't look good on the plate. You just can't. It changes it, so it's very important. It's fascinating to watch.
And we found the uptake of people eating the meals, if they're presented properly, is a lot higher. So there's a new thing just come in as well called IDDSI, which is all about the definition of what the textures are. So we're all on the scale. So we're from 0 or 7, which is like a standard diet. The Blixer will prepare foods at texture 3 and texture 4. So you can also do texture 5 in here, which is a 4 mil dice. But you have to just give it a pulse, okay? But then also check that. And the easy way to check if it's 4 millimeters, so it's texture 5, the distance between the prongs is exactly 4 millimeters.
That's the standard dimension.
Yeah. So if you put the food on the plate, push that through, all the food should go through the fork.
So if you've got a care home with residents that need different texture foods, there's a Blixer that you could have for each different texture required.
So you could do, say you're doing a roast dinner chicken mix or something like that. You could put all the food in here, pulse it, take it down, keep an eye on it so it doesn't go all the way to texture 4. Check it and you should get texture 5. Obviously do your checks.
Yeah.
Then keep it running so you get the texture 4. And then if you want to go to texture 3, you just add more liquid and then it goes more liquidized.
So you don't necessarily either need to do separate mixes. If you've got someone on 5, you start the whole batch on 5, take their batch out, continue working until it's texture 4, take that out and work it all the way down if you need to. You don't need loads of bowls, you don't need loads of different stuff going at the same time.
And this is where it makes it a lot easier. And the main idea is to take a normal meal and give that to everybody, but obviously in the different textures. So where in the past, what people have had to do is they've had to prepare a meal for texture 5 and do another meal for texture 4 and do all this. This way you could do, say, a cottage pie, take your mashed potato off, make that to the correct texture, take your mix, put it in here, and then set it to the different textures. Then what we use is the disposable piping bags, put them into those, and then in the hot cupboard, and when it comes to service, plate it up. Don't plate it up too early, because you've got 2 issues with that. One, if you plate it up too early, it will skin, so it'll change the texture.
So there'll be bits.
And also, if you put a lid on top, it condensates and again changes the texture. We try and stay away from suggesting to use moulds, purely because personally I just feel that if you prepare the food, mould it, chill it, freeze it, warm it up, you're then giving them yesterday's food.
It's a different process.
Yeah, and that comes back to the whole dine with dignity.
You've got 50 people having a fresh meal, and you've got maybe 5 people that are having a meal cooked yesterday.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I stand by that.
To check if it's texture 4, this needs just a little bit more liquid in there. It basically shouldn't come through the fork. Okay, if it goes through the fork...
Hold its body just enough to not fall through the gap.
If it goes through the fork, then that's basically too runny.
Too runny.
You just need to thicken it up slightly. So what I've done, I've basically prepared the bread earlier, put that into a piping bag. And what I'm going to do now is basically just put this on the plate so it just looks similar to toast. And you just want to keep nice, simple shapes and patterns just to try and make it look as close to the actual product as you possibly can. We've then taken the spaghetti on toast. So I've taken the pasta out of the tin spaghetti, blended that. I've then taken the sauce from the spaghetti and thickened that up with whatever thickening agent you want to use. And then all we're going to do, I'm going to do one half where I'm going to do spaghetti, and I'll do the other half where we'll do baked beans.
Wow, that actually looks really similar.
And you see you got that texture. And this is the same item, but we're basically just doing it very simple, quick and easy.
I've seen firsthand stuff like this being done all in one. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, it always just turns into a brown paste.
Yeah. And you're never going to get it looking exactly the same. But the idea is we want it to look. So they have an idea, but more importantly, that when they actually try the food, you can taste the different elements.
They've got tomato, pasta, and then toast. Yeah, no, that's amazing.
And you can try those. This, there you go. Do you want to try some?
Yeah, definitely.
It's strange when you first try it because we're used to that texture. But then you'll taste the beans. Obviously, it's cold, so it won't be as nice.
No, but
you can taste all the different elements.
You can taste all the different flavors at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's not like just one flavor.
And that's the main thing behind it is you want
that's really great. That's really
those
cool.
Different flavors, and it comes back again. Dine with dignity. You know, just because you're on a texture modified meal, you're generally paying the same amount as if you weren't on a texture modified meal. But at the same time, we want to make it as quick and easy for the chefs and that in the kitchen.
Of course.
They don't want to be preparing a whole different thing. So basically what we suggest, 20 minutes full service, take off the elements, blend it up, piping back, hot cupboard. This way you're only doing it for about 2 to 3
And when everything else is getting played and taken out, you pipe this and it gets served straight away.
If you don't want to use piping bags, you can always cannel it on, or we use the pastry rings. You can get square ones, round ones, all different shapes. Just keep it simple. You don't want it to be too much hassle for the kitchen.
I have seen, I think on Robot-Coupe, I've seen a breakfast sort of, like almost like a full breakfast, where there's the shape of sausage, there's a shape of tomato, a bit of toast. It makes it more appetizing, and it's fair. You're eating the same thing as the next person beside you. I think that's one of the most important things.
Totally, that is the best part of it. And it's really experiment. See what you can do. Get your textures right and have a little play around. A lot of cooks, chefs that we found in care homes, a lot of them have done cake decoration.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff they present is far better than what I could do personally.
I'm happy you didn't ask me to have a go, actually, because I'm not sure how it would turn out after.
So one of the other problems, or one of the other things we've come across is snacks. Main meals, most people have a good concept of what they can do and how they can present it, but then it comes down to snacks, and I think that's purely from having the wrong piece of kit. So with a Blixer, like I said, we could do scones, we could do waffles, we could do pancakes, it's pancake day yesterday. Yeah. We could do birthday cake. Imagine it's your birthday and now you can have a texture modified birthday cake rather than watch everyone else eat your cake.
Instead of a yogurt.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
please.
So what I'm going to do, I've just got a simple chocolate log. Okay, so we're basically just going to put this into the Blixer. We're going to chop that up ever so roughly. Now, the thing is to remember, if you're doing anything with chocolate, and you want to puree it down, you need to be quite careful, just because the machine will ever so slightly warm it up. So when you do your checks, it will probably be slightly too runny.
When it comes out?
When it comes out.
But it'll firm up.
For a while, yeah. Leave it for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then do your checks.
And then it should be.
But once you've done it a few times, you'll get to grips. Really, you'll know where it should be and what it should look like.
I've never seen a cake being broken down.
So there we go. Already a
before.
breadcrumb.
Wow.
Yeah. So you could do this with like a Victoria sponge. It's quite nice. Waffles. Waffles is a good one because you can pipe it and do the little pattern on the top.
I think it's really important. This is something that you look forward to, isn't it? Snack, it's a treat as well. And a yogurt is not a treat. This looks great.
So let's have a look, see where we are with that. A little bit longer.
Almost.
Just get a couple
I
of
think while we're
bits
just quickly blending that, worth mentioning that, I'll speak a bit louder, if you want to come and try any of this, or it's something you think you could utilise in your care home or in your business, just give Cater-Kwik a call. We speak to Robot-Coupe every day. If you want to attend a demo, or you're interested in someone like Jamie paying you a visit, or I think you were saying to me earlier that you do the group training forums as well, weren't you? So with care homes, so numerous care homes, I'll come in, seeing the demo, answering any questions, kind of a meet and greet. If you're interested in something like that, just give me a call and I can put them in contact with you and we can get something organised.
So the great thing is, we're quite lucky. I mean, I've had a couple of months back actually, I think I ordered about £200 or £300 worth of food, spent 2 days in the kitchen, just blended things, just to see what we could get. So we've got the freedom to do that. So we can come in and show you some ideas that we thought of, or maybe ideas that we've seen in other homes, and do the sort of take part in your forums or your group meetings, show you how the Blixer works, show you what it can do, and then basically allow you to just go off and make some crazy stuff. So there we've got the chocolate log. Do you see how that's just tailed off?
Just holding in a little bit. That's it. It's
so that's
just enough
texture
and no more.
for, basically. But again, like I said, because it's chocolate, it warms ever so slightly. So you just need to do those checks again, sort of once. I would say probably sort of 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You could do this in the morning, prep it up, stick it in the fridge. But again, do your checks before you serve it up. That's the most important thing. Because obviously, with anything, it will change. We've also made salad.
Wow.
So we've done cucumbers, tomatoes. If you do tomatoes, passata is quite good. Or to maybe roast off the salad items like your peppers, just to intensify
It's
the
not
flavour.
something you think of, but it's simple things like that. They can make a massive difference.
Well, imagine having a salad. Nutritionally, it's not great, but imagine having that on a hot summer's day.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. It's something you wouldn't actually think of, really. It opens up an avenue.
I saw a great one yesterday, and they made chips. And they basically got mashed potato, added salt and vinegar, so it tasted like a chip, and brushed it with watered down Marmite.
Ah, for colour.
And it looked like it's fantastic.
It's very clever.
And this is it. We're always seeing these new ideas of what you can do and how you can present it and things, which is fantastic for us.
I can tell this is going to be better than the cracker I had for my breakfast.
So there we've got basically a chocolate sponge, which has been taken down to texture 4. Now the great thing is with this, there you go, you can try that.
Oh, yes, please.
Now the great thing is with this, is it looks like a chocolate mousse.
It does, yeah.
So actually, you could serve this to every resident, not just those on texture modified meals.
Yeah, it could play it up nicely.
Yeah, you could do lots of different things with it.
That's a proper dessert.
Yeah, I've seen lemon meringue
It's really
done,
good.
where they blend down the biscuit base, similar to how we did the bread earlier. Put that down, put the lemon curd. Lemon curd generally is usually about level 4 anyway. And then use Merry White on the top, pipe it out, perfect. Obviously
Nice.
don't toast it as you would like a normal lemon meringue because it changes texture. But again, really simple, really quick and easy. And if I give that to you as a normal dessert, you'd probably be quite happy with it. You'd struggle to notice the difference, to be honest with you. So that's some very simple, some very quick sort of ideas on what you can do with the Blixer. But just to run through the Blixer again, we do just over 20 different models. So the 2's the smallest, where we go all the way up to a 60 litre massive drum. Each one depends on how many texture modified meals you're preparing.
Ah, okay.
So the 2 would do between 1 to 5, where 4 would do between 10 to 15. There's one in between, and it goes up and up and up.
So based on how many residents you have that need texture modification in their food, you would or there's a guide almost to what sort of equipment you're looking at straight away.
And for this is where, like, you know, anyone who's watching who wants some information that comes to you guys, says how many texture modified meals they're preparing, and then you can go, right, you need this size.
This is the size you need.
Spec.
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week, 8 till 8. The sales team regularly takes training like this. So if you have any questions at all, or if there's any questions you want me to ask Robot-Coupe on your behalf, just give us a call at any time. And if it's something I don't know, I will just go straight to the professionals and ask them on your behalf and get the answer that you need.
Yeah. Well, there's 6 of us from the UK and Ireland. So we can come to you and go through all the stuff. And it's just interesting. It's good for us as well, because then when we're talking to the chefs and the cooks and the managers in the homes, they're saying, oh, we got this problem, or how do we get around this? And they're bringing ideas to us at the same time. This came from a chef that we know down in Kent, who showed us this dish, and it's a picture. And we're like, oh, so simple, such a great idea. And everyone's working together to come up with these new items. Now, we've also got our recipe book, which you can go on to our website and download. Basically, just gives you some nice ideas, presentation ideas on what you can do. The dishes in here were pre-IDDSI, so they're not all to the correct texture. But for presentation, just gives you that.
It gives you an idea, yeah.
Starts the brain working, thinking, oh, I didn't think I could do that, or didn't think I could use that. Now, the only things that are more difficult, quite difficult in the Blixer, would be rice and potato, because of the sort of starch content.
It would be gluey rice.
Yeah,
would
and it kind of turns to wallpaper base. You can do rice, but you've got to be careful not overrunning it, and tend to add cream. What we suggest to a lot of people is use couscous. It's not got as much starch. Tastes very similar to rice.
And can take on flavour really well.
Yeah, and the colours slightly different, but actually it's quite easy. And you know from a chef's experience, cook a couscous, cook it, stick it in the pan,
Job
leave
done.
it, job done.
Easy.
Blend it up, sorted, and ready to go again. So that's the Blixers. Now we're going to move on to the juicer.
Lovely stuff.
So one of the other things we found, we're in the care industry, is there's quite an issue when it comes down to hydration. And if I give you water every day, or I could probably drink tea every day, but if it's a struggle sometimes to take all that hydration and all that liquid in. And also, it's quite a struggle to get nutrients into the body, especially when, as you get older, your diet, you tend to eat less.
Yeah.
So it's really good to try and get nutrients in.
Get as much in as you can.
Exactly. And this is where the juicer comes in really useful. So what makes our juicer quite unique is the basket size. So we've shrunk it down so you actually get a high yield. And if you can compare this to a lot of other commercial machines, the basket's a lot bigger, so the yield is quite low.
But you'd think, oh, bigger basket, I'm going to get more juice.
Yeah, but you actually get, by having this, you're getting a lot more juice, which is what you want, basically. And the great thing is you can mix up the recipe to whatever the seasonal veg or fruit or whatever you want to use. So if beetroots are in, beetroot juice, beetroot, apple, carrot juice is fantastic. You can do oranges in here, but you've got to peel them first.
Yeah, you don't want the bitterness. You
could do watermelon, melon, garlic melon, celery, cucumber, everything. Like, there's a huge amount you can just throw in. And weirdly, no matter what you put in, it usually tastes quite good. So it's just really sort of playing around with what you can do. So we're going to do apple, carrot and ginger.
Nice.
So just turn the machine on there, in with the ginger.
Wow.
Carrot, apple and ginger juice.
Quite rapid carrot, apple and ginger juice.
Very quick and very, the extraction, like I said, is fantastic. The great thing is with this, if I give you something, you can smell the ginger and you can smell the apple and the colour of it looks fantastic. If I gave you this instead of a glass of water, you'd probably drink more. And how many apples have I put in? Five apples? I could quite easily drink that in a day.
It's appetising, isn't it?
Yeah.
It comes back to that.
And now I'm getting the nutrients of, if I drank that jug, there you go, some for you.
Oh.
If I drank this jug, I'm getting the nutrients of 5 apples and those carrots.
It's absolutely gorgeous, by the way.
And it's fresh. Now, if you wanted this to the texture, you'd then just add your chosen thickening agent, whichever one you use. So you get that to the correct texture. Now, the great thing is with juicing, is because you're extracting the fibre from the juice, there's for and against that. For, because your body is no longer breaking down that fibre to absorb the nutrients. So you're going to absorb more without using any more energy, which for especially the elderly or anyone that's ill is fantastic.
They're not using their energy to break down all of that veg and fruit. And
it's been proven, there's been a few studies, for anyone that's watched Netflix, who's got Netflix, the guy who's fat, sick and nearly dead, he did detox for 30 days and found that after those 30 days he was off medication.
Wow.
Purely, obviously it's not going to work for everybody.
No.
But
your body's getting what it needs.
Exactly, and that is extracting what you need from it. And more importantly, it's interesting, something different. I know, drinking all the different juices, beetroot juice, cucumber
Well, it doesn't,
juice,
it's not going to take any extra prep time or really any much thought to give someone a different flavour every day. And you use what you've got that needs used. Yeah. So you're cutting down on wastage straight away off the bat. If you've got a couple of fruits that you think, oh, they're coming towards the end, you get them bashed in on the next juice in the morning. It makes perfect sense.
I mean, the best thing as well is rather than using fresh fruit and vegetables, use stuff that's sort of slightly bendy or wonky or a little bit older, because you get more sugars and stuff in there anyway.
Yeah, towards the end of life you get a sweeter flavour.
Cheaper for yourself to save some money.
Touching on that thing you were saying to me earlier, that there's a couple of hotels that are starting to use them as part of their breakfast serving. So everyone's been to a hotel with buffet breakfast where you get your scrambled eggs and your bacon. But I think a few hotels have put this on the bar with an assortment of fruit. Go up, instead of just getting apple and orange juice, you make your own juice for your breakfast, I think, isn't it?
Make it fresh.
And I think you said that if any hotels, any guys watching, if it's something that you're interested in, I think we can maybe offer a trial unit.
Yeah, totally.
Get it on your breakfast card, try it out, see if the customers are enjoying it. If it's something that creates a bit of a buzz and it's something you're interested in, then we can talk about getting one in. Yeah. And if you don't like it, there's no pressure. If it doesn't work, just say sorry, it doesn't really work, and we'll take it away. It's fine. Yeah. That's something. If you are interested, give us a call, and I'll get in touch with Robot-Coupe for you. Yeah.
Well, we got a question coming.
Oh, some questions. Good stuff. How How much will the machine cope with in a 12-hour shift from Peter? How much can it do in 12 hours?
I'm guessing
that's a full day, isn't
juicer.
it? Juicer.
So I've actually got one of the largest juice chains in the UK that are using the juicer, the J100. They've got it on for 12 hours, 11 and 12 hours, pretty much every
And that'll
single
take
day.
a battering, won't it?
I mean, you could see how much I just put through there. It depends. It's difficult to say exactly because if I put 100 kilos of cucumber through, I will get a lot of juice. But if I put through 100 kilos of carrots, I'll get a lot less
It's
juice.
moisture content in the vegetable. Or the fruit.
But yeah, you could literally have it on, keep on going and going and going pretty much all day.
You don't need to have downtime on it. What about cleaning in between? Maybe touching on that. Is there like a downtime where you've made a juice and you need to pull it out and clean it and reassemble it to make the next juice?
So say I made a beetroot juice, then I want to make an apple juice. I don't want the red coming out into my apple juice. So all you do is pour a pint of water through, jug at the end, collect it, and away you go.
Cleans out, next juice, and it's not going to be dyed purple.
You've then got the...
Accidentally summoned me.
Oh. My watch is going off. You've then got the waste at the back.
It kicks it all into the bin.
So that all goes into the bin. And as you can see there, quite dry. Now if you wanted to, and I know some places do, if they're just doing carrot juice, use the carrot cake.
That's actually a very good point
So
that you
it
wouldn't
depends
think
what
of.
you're doing, but you can do that. Now, so we do two different sizes of the juicer. Do the J80, which is this one, and we also do one called the J100, which is basically slightly larger, but it has a chute that comes off the back. And so that would basically go straight into your bin. So you haven't got to, you don't even then have to even empty the bin.
Wow. Yeah, it's seamless. Oh, I've got another question coming in from Amy. Would you come to site to do a demo? That's a very good question. We would come to site to do a demo, and Robot-Coupe would come with us. We can. We'll attend also. We're UK wide. We'll go anywhere, I suppose.
And Ireland.
Yeah. So if you give us a call and you're interested, Robot-Coupe and Cater-Kwik will come and visit you. We can bring a machine as well, can't we? And do an on-site demo. Give us a call. Let us know what you're looking at. Let us know what you're interested in doing. What you kind of want. Let us know your menu even, and we can look ahead and see what will work for you before we get there.
It's great for the demos when we come to site because we do over 140 different machines.
Wow.
And as a chef before, I used to think Robot-Coupe did about 4 machines. Once we come in and we'll show you what the machines can do, whether it's the juicer or the Blixer or the veg prep or the stick blenders or the sieves or any of the kit, it really changes your perspective on what you can do.
Yeah.
How much money you can save on labour, on food, or with the juicer, for example, what else you can offer your customers that you maybe couldn't do before, which is quite useful.
I'll also touch on the demo. If you're local or you fancy a day out to the Lake District, which many people I'm guessing would, we've got stuff on site. So if you want to come and try the juicer here, or if you want to come and use the demo kitchen and bring some things and try it out yourself, or if you want to make juice with myself, I'm more than happy. You can come and give us a call, come and visit us, try a couple of things out. Just come and use us, talk to us, let us know. Another question's firing in. Can you blix fibrous vegetables? That's from Rob.
You can, yes. Although it depends on the vegetable, obviously.
Fibrous, you're thinking turnips and
it depends
stuff
on the
like
season.
that.
I know some turnips I've had are more fibrous than others.
Some hold more water content than others as well.
What I would say for the fibrous vegetables, blanch them, cook them maybe a little bit longer if they are quite fibrous. I know some parsnips sometimes are really fibrous. Cook them that little bit longer, blend them down, make sure you do your checks with the fork, make sure there's no fibres in there. If there are, then you would have to pass them through a sieve.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Generally, I think 98% of the time I've done it and it's been fine.
I
don't want to say 100% because sometimes they're not.
Touching on that, what you've said is, speaking from first-hand experience, this kind of eradicates the need for pushing it through a conical sieve with a ladle, like every chef in the UK is probably doing right now as we speak. Is you blend it down in a standard blender, it's not fine enough, so you need to bring it down. So you've got a conical sieve on top of a bucket and you sit there for ages pounding it with a ladle. Half of it doesn't go through, so it goes in the bin and you've got about this much yield and it's an absolute nightmare.
Well, the other great thing is using the Blixer compared to other things. For example, like the stick blenders. If you're using a stick blender, you can puree down quite a lot of food. Not as much as you can with the Blixer. But when you're in the jug, there's a very high risk that you miss a piece. If you miss a piece, then you obviously got that risk of choking.
There's no way to tell, really, is
No.
there?
So you'd have to do all this. So then, theoretically, really, you need to pass it through a sieve. So that's, again, adding even more work to do. Where with a Blixer, any ingredient pretty much under 2 minutes. So if you've got 4 items on a menu, you're looking 15 minutes, roughly, to blend most of it, which is quite quick and
It's
easy.
saving the time, but it's also giving you the reassurance that the product's going to be appropriate at the end. If you're doing that, the pressure's on you. It's on you to make sure.
And the other good thing as well is you can blend it hot, which is really useful, because you take the hot element from the oven or wherever you're using it, blend it down in the Blixer, still pretty much keeps its heat, then put it into a piping bag, into a hot cupboard. Again, reduces any sort of time you've got. The other thing I forgot to touch on is also vegetables. So normally, to blend down, say, carrots, you'd have to overcook them to compensate for the machine.
To break down the fibre.
To break it down. Yet with a Blixer, you can basically blanch them for about 20-30 seconds. Keep that colour, again, coming back to
keep all the good bits inside, it's not going into the water.
Totally. And then blend them down. And then you'll get a perfect puree. And the colour is fantastic.
It's important to mention that I've worked in kitchens before where you're making 6, 7, 8 purees, and it's not something that you want to keep for the next day. They have to be made fresh every day. So what that means is you've got your carrots in a pot with a knob of butter, a little pinch of salt, cling film the lid, and it sits on the stove for about 4 or 5 hours, just waiting for it to break down. You can't cook it quickly, you can't boil it. You have to slowly cook it, bring it down, break it down, then blend it, then pass it through a sieve, then store it before it even goes on the plate. Oh, another question coming in from Peter. What about blixing meat? Steak, for example. That's a very good question. Proteins.
Very good. They work really well, actually. Say you've got a ribeye steak, for example, cook it to whatever point you want, blix it. It will tend to go quite thick.
Yeah,
it's
of course.
Almost like a pate sort of consistency, which will be
maybe like
too
meatloaf
thick
consistency almost.
Yeah. So then what I tend to do is add a stock, a little bit of stock to it, a little bit of meat stock. Or maybe if you've got a bit of béarnaise or something like that, it's up to you. But add a little bit of stock in there just to take it down ever so slightly. That in a Blixer, you can get meat down to texture 4 and to texture 3 quite happily.
Wow.
Again, if there's anything that's very stringy, you just need to just do your checks again.
Yeah,
Always do your checks, no matter what. Even if you do it one day and then you do the same thing the next day, still do your checks.
Still check.
Because we know
every
what it's
plate.
like. The food quality can be up and down.
Yeah, well, every chicken
Still
breast's
do.
different from the next chicken breast, and every steak's potentially come off of a different cow. It's not the same animal every time.
So yeah, for steak, meat, mince, easy. I've done it quite a few times and it works really
Yeah,
well.
well, everyone in the kitchen's probably had to make chicken mousse at any time.
I did one yesterday. We did roast chicken with stuffing. Smelled phenomenal. And plated up, looked fantastic. And it was down to the correct texture. We got it down to texture 4, 5 and 6, all using the Blixer.
Wow.
So it works really well.
That's great. Oh, right, here we go. Question from Kelly Marie, thank you. Does Juicer come with recipe book like the Blixer?
It doesn't, and the Blixer doesn't actually come with a recipe book. We have recipe books available. So the juicer, if you go on our website, we've got, I think, about 15, 20 recipes on there. But when we come and do the demonstration, we can always advise on different ideas, because at the same time, you want to make it profitable. So it's no good serving someone a pint of pineapple juice, because it costs you a fortune.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Which is why you find most recipes have apple, pear, carrots, to basically bulk up the juice. So we can come in and go, right, this is what we would suggest. Go off and do your thing. You know, just to give you an idea. So we're all development chefs, we're all ex-chefs ourselves, and we've all had quite a lot of experience when it comes to the Blixers and veg prep and the juicers. So we can come in and go, oh, here's some ideas. Or maybe look at your menu, because that's always quite good.
Well, if you look at the menu, you know what waste you've got. Every chef knows what waste you've got. If they're using a lot of tomatoes and stuff, there's going to be cast off if they're doing concasse. Yeah. You want to utilise what's going in the bin and put it through the juicer and get your margin back.
Well, it's the same as if you've got a small cafe. You don't want to be ordering in 10 pineapples if it's not on the rest of your menu.
No.
So we'll look and go, well, actually, you're using, like, carrots are great. They store really well. You're using that on your menu. You've got celery, you've got cucumber, you've got this. and we'll help you sort of build up the menu around what you've got. And go after, I mean, cucumber juice is actually quite nice, especially when it comes to the summertime. The other thing to touch on as well for juicing, just to remember, it's not just for summertime.
Yeah.
Winter is fantastic for juicing. Keeps away the colds, like beetroot juice and things.
Of course,
So it's
yeah.
actually,
When you're more
adapt the
susceptible.
menu. Yeah, so you make more of a winter menu, if you like, so you can adapt it to the season. The other great thing is if you've got a restaurant or cafe or anywhere else with juicer, you can do a juice that no one else is doing.
Yeah, of course.
You do your own twist. Or a customer could come in and go, oh, I like the apple, carrot and ginger juice, but I don't want the ginger. No worries, don't put it in.
Boom. Or could I have that with something else in it? Rock and roll.
So
Yeah, that's
very
great.
flexible.
I think if you wanted some recipes and some of the stuff off the website, you can just give us a call. I can send you an email quote. Anyone in the sales team can send you a quote with all the PDFs, lists of attachments, spares, all the brochures and the recipe books off the Robot-Coupe website. We can get that all sent over to you in like a package, so you don't have to go sifting through the website, sifting through different websites online to get it. We can get all that over to you relatively easily. Yeah. Well, brilliant. I think that's about us.
Yeah,
thanks for joining. Thanks for the questions. Nice to get involved. I think we are planning to do one in the future. No date set yet, but keep posted on social media, Facebook. We're going to upload these little snappy videos up to YouTube so you can watch later. But just keep an eye on us. I think we're going to do some vegan recipes next time, using some Robot-Coupe equipment to do vegan mayos, almond milk. Something we've not touched on is a lot of people like to make butters now, peanut butters, nut butters, and they don't know what equipment you need to buy to do that. So I think we're going to go through that next time. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers. I'm just going to